Look at look. Got food on my beard.
That's that sugar.
Out here looking stupid. Stupid like Cupid. What's good?
Yes, sir.
Man.
Y'all some busy brothers. We all
Yes.
we all some busy brothers. I ain't gonna put it on y'all. We all busy.
Life is busy. Yeah, I saw you busy the other day in the truck.
We sitting here eating dinner on camera.
Yeah.
My man's got to
Bro.
get to work in a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
We
funny.
still showed up. Go ahead, Ken. We still showed up for y'all though.
I was about to say that. That's funny, man. I had a little get together, bro, and I was pulling the podcast up yesterday, and we were talking about Joey Pauls.
Joey P.
Bro, it's interesting, man. This is a sidebar topic, bro. But when everybody got common things to say about you, it's probably you. Like, bro, if y'all could have been a part of just the dialogue that we had yesterday about Joey Pauls, it would have really blew y'all mind. Yeah, bro. They would. I let some people watch the video podcast, bro, and I couldn't stop them from shaking their head. And it was about 10 WTFs, and
Right. Yeah.
someone was what the, some was who the f.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, man. But listen, bro, mental health, bro, mental health.
Mental health
I think
is
sometimes,
important.
yeah, bro. I think sometimes we get in our own way. I've been teaching my son, um, about self awareness, bro. And I think that's it's a very loosely used term,
Mm-hmm.
but I think, especially as black men in the community, bro, it holds more value than we can ever know. Some
But
people think self-aware.
when I hear the word self awareness, I gotta go biblical. I go to the Bible. I always use the example of the Adam and Eve story. I think I told you guys about how before they ate the apple, they wasn't self aware. As soon as they ate the apple, they became self aware, then took action.
Hey, notice what you just said. Self aware. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go
They
ahead.
didn't. They didn't need to be self aware. That's the problem. When you
Hmm.
take matters in your
Uh,
own hands and think you know better than the creator,
Right,
that's why they weren't self aware. They didn't need to be.
right. At that point, yo. But
I
then once
disagree.
you become self aware, that's when you take action, right? And that's what a lot of our black people, I mean, like you said, Ken, like you always get on them. It's a lack of self awareness. They're not taking action. They're not taking accountability. So self awareness is huge, man.
Yeah, I think that who we got in here? Who we got trying to pull up? It gotta be a Shelby. They late.
It's the Black Knight. It's my cousin.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
What
Hello,
up
hello,
with you, bro?
hello. How y'all doing?
We chilling. We chilling.
Can
Let's
y'all
get
hear
this
me?
out. Yes, sir. We can hear you. Let's get this out the way so we can see my brother. What's up, Black Knight? Can you hear?
How
Can you
you
hear
doing,
us?
sir? Glad to meet y'all. My name is Kevin. Actually, that's my moniker. It's my
Yeah.
alias. That's what I go by
What you want to
when
be
it
called?
turns
You want to
dark.
be? What you want to be called? Kev or Black
Shelby is
Knight?
my cousin, so he invited me to this joint.
I'm gonna pray for you already. Then you've been cousins with this dude.
Yeah.
Hey, watch this. Like full disclosure, I take some accountability for how he
Right,
is.
yeah, yeah. He was a start.
Hey, wait. You gotta be careful before you do that.
Yeah. I started following the train through him. Yep. Pluto, Jupiter, Neptune, following them everywhere. Like,
Hey, so what? So
Hey,
what do you
that's what
want?
he used to say when we was kids. Man, you
What you want to
sending
be
us
called?
off. I'm like, yep, let's go.
What is it? What you
Going
want to
to
be called?
the
Kevin?
abyss.
What do you want to be called? Black Knight or Kevin? What you want to be called?
I go with black.
Okay. All right.
I
Black.
mean,
Black
we
it
we are
is.
yeah, we in the realm. I mean, if I was at work, I'd say Kevin. I would consider this as a Black Knight field right here. This is definitely
Okay.
Black Knight.
For sure. All right. Let's get Black caught up on the topics that we're chopping up tonight. The first topic. I don't know your marital status or your dating status. It's the first topic is me and my spouse have grown apart. What do you do if you find yourself on this island, and how do you course correct? So let's say you're in a relationship with somebody, a long term relationship. You got a lot of background noise because you keep lighting up. You got
Yeah, I
someone on the
got.
background?
Hold on, I'm gonna have to go to a quiet room.
Okay.
So what was you saying again?
You talking to me, Corey?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying the topics are me and my spouse have grown apart. What do you do if you find yourself on this island? And how do you course correct? So if you with someone in a long term relationship and you see the relationship drifting apart, what do you do to course correct?
Right.
Second
Why you call
topic,
it an island?
because it's an island. When you on the island by yourself, you're like, yo,
Yeah,
when you grow
that's true.
apart, you're not on the
Yeah.
same island no more. You over here, she way over there.
Even what you're going
Yeah.
through, even what you're going through with friends and stuff, you're on the island all by yourself. You're not communicating with your friends and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're on the island all by yourself.
Oh, that means you gotta be self-aware, huh? Interesting.
Oh shoot, he back, my bad.
Oh, I
Uh,
took him off for a second. He not back yet. Oh, you back,
Oh, you
Black?
took him off. Oh, okay, okay. He
You get
cool. It's
ready.
just a TV. It's a TV in the background. Need to turn down. That's all. He good. It's just
Yeah,
whatever
turn
that
that
noise is in the
Pornhub off.
background.
what ages are we talking about during? No, I'm sorry. That's the other topic. Um, well, I mean, I can go first. Then we can start talking about it.
Well, let's get Black back on.
All right, I'm gonna bring him on. Black, you ready? He look pissed.
Ain't it?
Oh, okay, I'm like, damn.
Oh, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate
He ain't ready, bro.
you. Thanks. After you get washed up
Yeah,
and
you just
relaxed,
have to come
I'm gonna
in, man.
send you a link to join because we're recording right now. If you ain't busy,
Yeah, I'm good.
all right,
You have to come
Who that?
in while we talk.
huh?
That's your son.
Yeah.
Let me
Oh,
see him. Someone come here.
Lee, he just got off work. He dirty. Lee, come here. Everybody want to see
Hey,
you.
Lee was
Even
a
though-
baby.
he gonna throw. He throwing the head. Why you throw the hood on?
Yeah. What's up?
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a nice setup you got going on.
Oh yeah.
He said, "This is a nice setup."
Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely join.
Yeah. So
Uh,
when you get to the crib, get washed and relaxed. Just check your email.
I bet.
All right.
nephew making his money. That's funny. I remember. Dang, bro. We old, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we old. Yeah, we old.
You know, y'all old. That is.
Check on. Hey man, check on Black. Black look like he ready. Check on Black. He got the headphones
Oh,
on. Check on him.
Black, you
So,
ready?
Hold
That nigga look like Ron Harper.
Yeah, you do.
on. Testing.
He
Testing.
get on.
Testing.
Yes, sir.
He
I
get
hear
on
you.
here. He get on.
How we doing? Is that a little bit better with the sound?
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah. You got a TV on in the background.
No, not exactly. It's just somebody. Yeah.
Oh, it's people talking. I thought you had a TV going. Okay.
mhm.
Did you hear the first topic, Black?
I think it was about how to course correct if you are falling. I guess uh, moving in two different directions.
There you go. Right. You and your spouse or you and your long term
Hey,
relationship mate have grown
it sound,
apart. How do you course correct?
it sound like you
Now,
may have set
now,
him up. You can't be asking these topics without giving him disclaimer about his environment.
What?
well. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not concerned with that. I would like to say first of all that I'm speaking from a level of extensive experience,
I love it.
but not in the sense you may think. I often categorize myself as one who has ruined enough relationships to know exactly what not to do.
Mm.
Oh wow.
So with that being said, number one, you're gonna need effort. you're gonna need effort and desire on both parts. Cause ain't no course correcting uh no broad that done already broke bad and no nigga that don't want to be there. There
Right.
ain't no answer for that. So number one, you got to figure out if there's a desire for those two people to even be together. And if they
Right.
can come to that agreement, then it's gonna take effort. I would suggest getting the same friends, doing the same activities, and I know it sounds silly, fellas, but yeah, getting the same bank account. If you can manufacture and facilitate those three things, you might have a chance. If you can get you some friends in common, get you some activities in common, and manage y'all money together, y'all might have a shot.
Right. Trying to stay, like you saying, together if you want it to happen, though. If you want the effort to be necessary.
Yeah, like you said, you need two willing participants. That's what he's saying. You need two people willing to fight. Because one person fighting and the other one resisting, that's an automatic fail.
And that's normally how it goes. If one person that's willing to stay, the other one is willing to just leave. So,
That's why I say that you know, you either got a broad that done broke bad or a nigga that don't want to listen.
Right. So unpack that about the money because I don't understand how that fits at all.
Bro.
I have no idea how that fits at all. We can't let that
Hey,
slide.
we gonna
How?
act like
All
this
right,
T.
in order to move in one direction, you got to have goals in common.
Right.
Um, by stipulating and putting the money as a stipulation, that's probably going. I can explain it better. You're gonna put your money where your mouth is. That's where your heart at. You know, your money is gonna go to what you care about and what you really want. Now, if you can manage your money, and when I say can, I'm saying it under the premise that now our goals are aligned. So it's not like
Hmm.
I'm trying to buy my Corvette just for me, and she
right.
don't really want me to have a Corvette, and I got to scramble up my. Now you got a situation where you got two people with the same goal, and as people always talk about, ain't nothing like having two incomes on it. If you got two incomes on it, you gonna get there.
And
I
like
think
you
I think I
said,
know what he's saying.
you using the money because that's almost really the ultimate sacrifice.
What the idea being me and you are in alignment, and that's
Right.
gonna be the essential alignment. And like I said, I've learned from examples. My first marriage, and there's no way. And my mom said, "Y'all need to get joint bank accounts, Kevin. Y'all gonna make this work." We had her money and we had my money,
Yeah.
and eventually, how that goes is, yeah, that's gonna be uh
What's
that's
mine
gonna be
is
a
mine.
seed.
What's yours is yours.
Yep, that's gonna be a seed that's gonna resonate throughout the entire relationship. And
Yeah.
it's division. It ain't nothing but division.
That's all it is. I agree with that.
What you say,
And
Ken?
go ahead, kid.
Hey, do me a favor, Black. Pause your
Yeah, mute yourself.
mute your
There
Yeah,
mic.
you
your
go.
background, your
You
background.
got
That
it. You
background.
got it. You got it.
So when I'm not talking, I just mute.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Um, whew, that's a lot. That's a lot to unpack. Um, man, let me first comment on what Black Knight said. Uh, I ugh. I think I gotta disagree with a lot of the premise, man. Um, you saying in order to get something right, you gotta combine bank accounts. Um, I mean, I get it, depending on what the circumstances are. But I'm thinking from a full blown standpoint. I'm thinking like, okay, um, from my experiences, there's always one party that feels the drift first. Um, whether it's they internally can't get over something, um, they feel unheard, they feel unnurtured. Um, so my response to those drifts are just to pause and take some time, right? Take some time to check yourself, analyze how you're really feeling, analyze why you're feeling that way, and then separate those feelings from the other person. And when you look at yourself, you know, you got to really realize, okay, am I depending on this person to provide whatever this is that's causing me to feel this way? Um, and I think a lot of times we'll find out that it may not be about that other person. I think if we can kind of look at ourselves first, get a better understanding of ourselves as an individual, it'll give us a better perspective of how we fit into the relationship. Um, what I have learned is that relationships are going to have ebbs and flows, meaning that there are going to be times that the synergy seems like it's great, and there are going to be some times that it just seems like it's not what it was. I think that's the beauty of the process. That's the beauty of the ultimate commitment. You know what I mean? But I think the first thing that everybody should do when they feel adrift, they feel things are changing, just stop, because I think sometimes, you know, we can define ourselves only by that relationship, and we're not really looking at ourselves. We individuals first. That's kind of my stance on it. And that money thing, bro, nah, not gonna happen.
Well, Ken, you coming from a logic standpoint of view though. When you get into that realm, it's all emotions really is what it is. Everybody's emotionally going kind of haywall in a sense. What you saying, you broke down step by step the logistics of how to handle it. But what if you handle it logically and the other person is handling it more on the emotional side, not listening to you? I think
Okay.
then it takes somebody has to be the bigger man. Somebody has to get out of their own way
Oh,
and say, you know what? I'm gonna listen to what you are telling me, and that's hard to do for the average person. But it's gonna take that. Somebody has to be the bigger man, just so the other party can listen.
Hey,
Because if
Black,
everybody's at each other,
Black,
nobody's.
hold on, Corey. Black, you gotta go to the mute. Hold on, Black, we can't hear you. You gotta go to the mute button. You see where it says mute at the bottom? Click the triangle next to the mute button and pick the audio. Pick the correct audio so that we can hear you. That's why we can't hear you. Go
what
ahead,
are you
Corey.
saying, Corey?
No, I was saying somebody has to get out of somebody has to get out of their own way in the situation. Um, Somebody has to stop and listen to the other person because it's normally one person is using logic, the other person is all emotional. The emotional person is not going to listen to logic. That's just a fact. They're not going to listen. Normally, that's the woman.
I,
Normally, it's going to take the man to say, you know what, I'm
nope.
a listen. That's if you want to make it work, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to
Uh,
listen to what you're saying in a neutral, get it out, let's talk. You're going to have to do that first because they're not going to do it first. So
Well,
I think it's more of a self. You said it earlier, Ken. Checking yourself. It's
yeah,
easy to check somebody else, but can
yeah,
you
bro.
check yourself? Check yourself, Q.
let me say
Yeah,
something
bro.
real quick. Let me say something real quick. Usually, the breakdown in a relationship where people grow apart is when the values shift. Like when you start a relationship, excuse me, when you start a relationships, the values align because that's what brings you guys together. You figure y'all on the same team based on values. Once the values start to change, once a person's thinking start to change, once they start to move a different way and the values start to shift, I think that's when the relationship, quote unquote, grows apart. So how do you get it back on track when the values have shifted? When what's once was important to both of you is now less important to your mate, your spouse, or whatever. How do you course correct that?
um, I would say, going back to my experiences, my ex-wife, I left her. And to get me back, she sent me all the old pictures of us traveling, of us just all in love. And I ran my right back over there. What I'm saying is what it takes. You're gonna have to revert back to when everybody was in love. You're gonna have to go back to the honeymoon.
No, I get what you're saying. You got to
You see what I'm
remind you
saying?
got to
You're gonna
remind your
have to
people
do that.
what made you fall in love with them, right?
That's where it's at. That's where
Hmm.
it's at. You're gonna have to find a way. That's if you wanna make it work. You know, you're gonna have to
Well, that's
revert
my
back.
that's my point. sometimes in these drifts, um, we got to take that time to evaluate what's really happening. I think um, if more of us take that self accountability, once we feel the feeling of disconnect, right? Once we feel that, I think if we stop, just take a minute to ourselves mentally to kind of evaluate the situation, we can look at the relationship completely differently. We can find out if this is a me thing. We can find out how this me thing fits inside the union, if you want to call it that. You know what I mean? And then we can
Well,
analyze. Now,
you
now,
personally, what do you do? I mean, you've been married. How many years you been married, Ken?
bro, 7.
All right.
Um,
What did you do in some situations where when things got a little bit out of hand? Did you get out of your own way? What did you do?
bro.
On
So
some stuff?
I start.
Without getting too personal, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what works for me is I look myself in the mirror and I'm analyzing myself because it makes no sense to blame another person because they're human. I've had a
Right.
whole bunch of conversations with Mike, and the perspective that I always come from is okay. How am I trying to understand this circumstance? What's my action? What's my course? See, one thing about the thing about me and my character is that I hold myself accountable, more accountable than anybody else can hold me. Right. So I'm able to mitigate what my circumstances are before you know before I have to put them out. Before I have to share those experiences with somebody else. So when things aren't going ideal, I'm trying to analyze, okay, what can I do to better understand? And then what can I do to course correct for the team? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't look at situations in the sense like pointing the finger, pointing the finger, pointing the finger. Now don't get it twisted. I will point out differences in processes, differences in thoughts and even I mean everybody's a human, right?
Right. So
My
you go
wife's
to
upbringing.
yourself first. You go to yourself first.
Yeah,
Right.
because it makes no like, bro. This is crazy. So for relationship relationship that I have with my son's mom, and I don't even want to call it a relationship, but it was. I went to some therapy after that, bro. And what I learned in therapy is that it makes no sense to blame the other party for anything that's not working in the relationship
Right.
because there's no value in pointing out what somebody else is doing. What you should be doing is taking that opportunity to figure out what you can learn from that situation. And 9 times out of 10, if it's a person that you're not supposed to be with, you're learning how to identify traits of those types of people or those types of circumstances. Like right now, I could say that she was the most horrible person in the world, but that don't do nothing for me. I can't improve from that. I can't grow from that. So what I can grow from is like, oh, okay, boom, can't mess with nobody like this. Boom, I can't deal with somebody who does this. Can't deal with somebody who don't talk. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's helping me self-identify. But blaming somebody, bro, everybody like nobody can do anything to you that you don't allow, right?
Right.
So if you check yourself on what you're allowing, check yourself on how you operating, um, you'll put yourself in a situation where you have more of a resolution than just a
I'm not
finger to
sure if
point.
my mic is on, y'all. Are we still having difficulties?
Nope, we hear you loud and
I'm gonna
proud.
go
I
without
hear
this
you.
shit. How about that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's better. But yeah, that's like you said, it goes back to self accountability at the end of the day.
And I tell you what's frustrating though, and this is the truth, bro. I keep it a buck. Um, you can only hold yourself accountable so much. I hold myself accountable, and then I hold myself accountable for why this person ain't doing why the other party ain't doing what they doing, and that becomes stressful too. So, yeah, self accountability, but then you also have to be able to articulate and
Hey,
communicate what you're trying to get done, and you have to like I'll say this: I don't care what relationship you in, somebody has to have some type of influence. Like
Question.
you have
Question.
to, yeah.
Question. And your guys' experience. Mute yourself real quick, Black. Real quick, just for a second. Just mute yourself, real quick. In your guys' relationships, in your experience with relationships, can you tell when the relationship is drifting, the moment that it's drifting, or is it always the other party letting you know, hey, we need to course correct? When you're inside a relationship, can you personally tell when a relationship is shifting? And if so, let's talk about it.
I think one person can tell and one person doesn't have a clue every single time almost. I ain't gonna say every, but a high percentage. It's always one person that's checked out way before the other person even know what's going on. Yeah.
But I'm saying, what? Okay, so let's say you checked out first. What was the first sign? I want everybody to give their experience of when they personally knew when a relationship was drifting. Go ahead, Ken. You go first, then Black, then Corey.
Um, but this is past relationships, bro. Um, you know you're checked out. Like for me, I know when I know when I'm checked out when um things that used to matter don't matter. Um, once you get to the point where like you don't even care about responses, you don't even care to articulate, you don't even care to argue. Um, and things that are true to you just aren't mattering anymore. And you know it's time. You start entertaining anything that comes your way. And yeah, again, that's some past stuff. Most of my experiences that I think that I'd be drawn from in that situation with my son's mother.
What you got, Black?
I come from the aspect of number one is gonna be like your living situation. If y'all together, I've always looked at home as yeah, just like when you playing the game, home is safe. Home is home base. Home is home team. If you in a situation where you got to go out and you got to work, you got to fight the world, and you got to come home and fight, that's a bust. That's a wrap in the door. Because number one, you're gonna stop coming home, point blank, period. And that's usually the dead end of the situation. When a man don't even feel comfortable coming home for the sake of having to listen to whatever, that's when he done checked out. And if you
Right.
at home waiting on your girl, then
Hey, if you're
yeah,
at
I
home
can see she
waiting, if
checked
you're at
out. But
home,
when that home environment is then got to a point where don't nobody want to be there with the other person, yeah, it's some checking out going on.
yeah. So it's the distance. It's the distance apart. It's the quiet, the checking out verbally, the engage. Ain't nobody interacting anymore. Like you said, if you at home and your girl get off at 4 and it's 4:55, yeah, it's pretty much over. You know?
And
She had a
not
meeting.
4:55. How long is her commute, dog?
And she
Man,
20.
maybe she want to stop and get something. You got to at least give her an hour to get home.
Uh,
Boy.
Because it's stuff that leads up to that, man.
You
I
know
know,
what?
I know, and I ain't gonna lie. It used to be. I sit back and think about it now. How messed up I was in the head at the time when I first got married. A lot of my friends wasn't married, and I would have to listen to these dudes complain about their girlfriends. Oh man, I got to get back to the crib. So and so gonna be mad. And I used to tell them cats, man, I do more married than y'all do with a girlfriend, because them cats had to be at home. And at the time, I actually bragged about I wouldn't go home for 2 or 3 days, and I'm married.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously the marriage didn't last long, but at the
I was
point,
about to
that's the
say,
type of
bro.
mentality I
You
had. I wasn't
checked
even
out.
coming home.
You checked out.
I tell you when it's the little things, bro. When the little quality time moments, they don't mean nothing no more. The little laughs, the laughs ain't laughing. You know what I mean?
What about the
The
sex? Want the sex slow down?
bro,
right? Sex slows down completely because nobody's in love, right? Especially if it's her, especially if she checked out. You know, we good. We can check out and still, hey. I just need
Speak
5
for
minutes.
yourself, brother.
I just
I
need five
don't know,
minutes.
bro. I don't know.
Speak for
Yeah,
yourself, bro.
not me. Because if I'm checked out, I don't even want to.
Exactly.
Well,
Like,
that's what
like
I'm saying. But if y'all living together and married, men, they just turn around, 5 minutes, and I'm back mad.
mm-mm.
That's if y'all living together, is what I'm saying.
Speak for yourself, bro.
Hey, at that point, that's SA. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to. I ain't trying to do that. If you ain't with it, I ain't with it. Like for
But
real,
it starts really majorly with the sex, right?
it does. That's a crucial. That's how you can really tell. Yeah, when the intimacy is like dead,
Mhm.
like when it starts to be going through the motions, it's like okay, yeah,
Right.
something's
So
off.
I will give
That
I
can't
will give a
necessarily
rebuttal.
be the soul key because
Yeah.
on the flip side, I would have to ask well, all the women that I was sleeping with that had boyfriends and husbands, why didn't they do no? I don't think they necessarily know just because of the sex.
Probably because
I
they was
don't
getting
Well,
it
know,
in.
I don't know what
Hey,
process she took to get back home or any of them, but it just watch this. And some of the couples is still together to this day.
right. Probably they
I
was
be
they was both
wondering how they
stepping
still
out.
made it.
They was both stepping out. Probably, you know.
that's true.
Probably.
That's true. So it's
It's
a lot of
balance.
variables, I guess.
It's
But really,
balance.
the major one is, I think, communication. I think that tends to tone down. They almost
Always
become robotic with it. It becomes routine, like you're saying.
routine.
So
Yeah,
there's no life in it when you communicate. So
Yeah, it's kind of like I talk to my daughter, man. Relationship is kind of like coaching. When your coach is in your butt, yelling and fussing at you, that means he got some belief in you. When he
right,
stopped talking, when he don't say nothing to you,
that's a
he
problem.
done moved on. He done
yeah,
found somebody else that's gonna fit that role. He's not
yeah.
trying to, encourage your growth anymore. Um, and I think that could be true in relationships. Um, but Night, all these these escapades you talking about, bro. I tell you why they still together because it's balance. You ain't getting what you need at the crib, you go get it, and shoot, you come to the crib, ain't nothing to argue about no more.
That's right.
What you mad for? I ain't mad no more. So you sit
Hey,
you
so
sit
in
in
a
there.
sense, I was saving a relationship.
I
Yes,
mean, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Hey, let's
yes.
create an app, man. Let's create the app, though.
boy,
That's how
Corey.
you save relationships.
I know you don't believe in hell, Corey, but some gonna happen to you.
Yeah, hey, but now I'm a little bit older, they got an app for that too, but most of the time the husband no. Nowadays.
So okay,
Whoa,
so what do we do?
whoa, whoa.
Hold on. Time out. So what do we do to course correct? We didn't talked about the problem when we notice the problem. How do you course correct? Black mentioned it. He gave his description of how to course correct. Shelby, what's your course correction?
I think you got to check yourself first. Somebody got to be the bigger man. Somebody got to get out of their own way.
Oh,
That's if you want to make it work. You got to get out of your own way.
And that's kind of what Ken said. Ken said the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, like I said in the beginning, my course correction is to find out where our values are. Because to me, that's the glue of the relationship. Once the values start changing, you start looking at your spouse different. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already attracted to a certain type of woman, right? Value wise, not sex wise, not just like if I'm gonna take you and make you mine, you got to have this up here. And so once the values start to shift, then I'm not even attracted to you no more. So I think in order to course correct, we got to revisit these values and try to find you know what I'm saying, find out where this thing went left because values is real. It can make or break a relationship. It could be the thin line between I'm attracted to you or you can kick rocks. Unless you just like my man said, you could just turn over and flip her and yeah, but
It,
I ain't like that.
it's very
but
interesting that you said that. I have found, um, I mean, probably I'd say over the past 5 or 6 years, number one, I tried to better my relationship with God, and that's been a big thing. But number two, generally, I have actually just been trying to be the best version of me possible. A lot of that comes without all the without all the I mean, with that being said, the more and more I've elevated my morals, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Some of them chicks I dealt with back in the day, I wouldn't even talk to now. But I can remember when I was at that low, you know what I mean? As they say, when you dealing with your lower self, oh, it was all great. It was fun and dandy. She was the right one for the job. But as I started to want more for myself, yeah, that dictates what kind of woman you're gonna end up with. And whether that relationship is even gonna work out.
So, Mike, I gotta disagree with
Go
what you're
ahead.
saying in theory.
Go ahead.
Um, and I think I understand what you mean,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's values. It's a value shift because I think values that's something that can't shift. Like who you are, your values are kind of what make up who you are. I do think that um those shifts comes from you know different scenarios and the response to different scenarios. um, that can shift. What I think what happens is, and I've been in relationships that were kind of similar that you think everything is on the same page, right, and everything's good until that thing comes and the response that you expected is not the response that you got. Because you can't discuss or pregame every relationship scenario. Period. So sometimes somebody's response to a circumstance or a situation can cause a shift. You're like, oh, I didn't know you would be on that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I know what you mean when you say values, but I think that values are more. Um, those are something that probably won't waver. Um, much throughout an adult's life. But I do think responses to circumstances or response to trauma, right? You can have a traumatic situation that you guys have never discussed and you just assume that y'all would be good with this, but when those situations happen, you find yourself looking like who the hell am I with? So,
So
I just kind of just
now we're talking about communication, like what
I can't hear you, Mike.
I said I didn't mean to cut Corey off, but it's me and you. Since you disagree with me, it's me and you. When I
Why you
say
cut him off?
because it's me and you, I don't know why dude left, but uh, core values is core values. Like I want my son to grow up as a boy, not a girl.
So you think that could change?
Yes, absolutely. People grow up. People
Well, I
grow.
agree with you then.
People people change every day. The person you are at 22 or 25 or 28 is not the same person that you are now. Things happen.
Shit.
Life happens.
I was never pro
I'm not talking about
homosexuality.
that. I'm not talking about that. Let's get that
Oh,
off the table. That was an extreme. Let's
yeah,
get that off
that
the
was
table. I'm
super
just
extreme.
saying, in general, your mind changes over time. So what I'm saying is, if you and a woman hook up, because remember, we don't pick women to keep or to provide for based off of looks and all of the surface level. We worried about the mind. Once the mind gets corrupted, we like, nah, we good.
I see
You
what
up
you're
out of
saying.
there.
I can agree with that. I agree with
All
that.
right.
I just think that like yeah, when you said core values, that made it tough.
I mean, it is tough. I mean, like, a woman's mind change just like a man's mind change. A woman might be like, you know what? It's okay. Yeah, you go ahead and have two women. But when she first started off in the marriage, she like, oh no, she's pro monogamous. But after later on in life, she figure out, man, I can't keep up with this guy, so I'm gonna go ahead and let him do his thing. Or it could be the reverse. She could be like, oh, you can't keep up with me. You know what I'm saying? Now she
Whoa,
ready to leave. Now she ready to blow the marriage up because she's not happy. Because she's in her
right.
sexual peak and you just, you regular schmegular
whoa,
now.
whoa! That's a
I'm
lot right there.
just,
We
Man,
hey,
that was a lot. That's a whole segment.
hey, that's what they
Right.
say. They say a woman's sexual peak is around they late 30s to early 40s.
how would you respond to that, Mike? If both sides, how would you respond if she said, "Hey, I'm not enough for you. Let's bring somebody else in," and then vice versa, you're not enough for her. Deuces,
Deuces.
Corey, what's your thought?
No, straight up. It's straight up deuces. If somebody ever told me that, I'd be like, yo, we had a good run. I see you back. I see you, Lee. Hold on real quick. I would tell him we had a nice run, but if I'm not enough, we ain't bringing nothing in this. You can go ahead and you can jump off the porch, get back on the streets, and we'll see how that turn out for you.
What about what about the other way? What about the other way around?
I
If
wouldn't. I've had no. I've had that scenario pop up. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
so oh, yeah, tough.
Because as
I
a
don't want to
man, yeah,
incriminate nobody.
because as a man, you gotta choose. If you get the best of both worlds, and then the one world is doing you better than the other world. As men, we discard the. You know what I'm saying? We don't just have people on the team for the sake of having them on the team. We
Nah,
pick
nah.
like you cut. You got to go.
You're on
So
the squad. You're gonna be playing. If you
yeah.
ain't playing, you ain't on this team.
So don't even put me in that situation to
So
choose.
okay, so what if okay, what if you had a great relationship, but
Mute
can't
yourself.
do that
No,
with
no,
that.
no, 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 no.
Can't
He
do
a
it with that
grown
beautiful.
man. Hey, he a
Can't
grown
do it with that
man.
beautiful. Can't do it with that beautiful. Can't do it. Can't do it. I almost fell for the bait. I'm not gonna taint him. I'm not gonna taint
Yeah,
him.
he a grown man. He done heard
But okay,
everything.
Oh,
put
this
the
your
shoe on the
son?
other foot. Put the shoe
Yeah.
on the other foot. What do you do if you're not and you got an amazing relationship, but you're not getting the stimulation that you need, and she understands that and is not in her, and she says, "Hey, I want you to be happy." And Corey knows this because Corey has another whole nother alter ego out here.
Hey, I thought
And
I
so
thought I flashy thinged you, man. What you? How you remember that? I thought I did the flashy thing with you.
Oh, the men in black. The men in black. Ding.
Yeah, yeah. How you remember that?
there's an alias running around here that knows
I
about
know
this.
the flashy thing you again. Go ahead.
But but my point is to if she initiates that scenario because she knows within her that's just not her, how do you respond?
Corey.
Oh, me.
Mm.
If she is not enough, if I think she's not enough, is what you're saying, or
No,
vice
no, no.
versa.
No.
If okay, let's say you're a highly sexual person, right?
Me.
And y'all relationship, yeah, y'all relationship is good. She's just not as sexual as
Can't
you, and
keep
she
up.
Oh, that's why I
not that
divorced
not
my
no.
wife. That's why I
Hold,
divorced my ex. She was flawless with everything except for the sexual stuff. Now, granted, I was 37, 30. I was about 35. She was about 40 something, about 8 years older than me.
Well, that's never mind.
But the point, no, the point I'm making, man, and I truly evaluated myself. She was flawless with everything else. It's just the sex was a two, the
so okay,
stimulation. So I said to myself, I truly checked myself. I got a divorce because I did not want to be cheating on her. It didn't
so
even
my,
make no sense to be married
so
to her. And I got a divorce. I did it myself. And I
so
never told her either. I couldn't
my
even I couldn't even come to tell her this.
well, she probably know now, but my question is this: if she was responsible and self-aware enough that understood that about you and her, and she understood that's just not a trait that she just doesn't have interest in it like that, she's cool,
Right.
and she introduced somebody else. She said, "Hey, baby, I want to make sure that you're happy, and I want to keep the relationship that we have. So I want to bring somebody else in here that
Right.
is able to address that." How do you handle that?
I mean, I just told you how I handle it. It's not a marriage if y'all doing all that. Why we
Mm.
married? Why we married? Why we playing this game? It's not a marriage. Get over. I got over myself. I truly did, man. Because I said to myself, she's a beautiful woman. Everything is good, but I'm gonna be cheating.
All
And it's
right.
like, why am I married? Why am I
So
married?
so we finna put Youngin
You
on the
don't think that's
spot.
shallow?
Hold on. We finna put Youngin on the spot since he wanted to come in.
Yeah.
Even though he's young, he's been out the house for a good little grip. He's had relationship experience. So you see the question floating up at the top. It says if you and your spouse or your whatever significant other have grown apart, how do you course correct? How do you fix the situation if the flame ain't flaming?
Okay. So like we said, I'm young, but I definitely had like my experience. With my experience, my longest relationship is the relationship I'm in now, which is going on 3 years, right? So in this 3 years, we definitely had our moments where I feel like it wasn't as strong as it was when we first started dating. But to me, being at like this young stage in my life, when I go out, like when we do stuff, like we'll go out with her family, right? And we'll do stuff like as a family. It brings that spark back into our relationship because we start to think about like, man, in the future, this is gonna be us and we gonna have a family like that. We just gotta keep going and going. So for me personally, doing family stuff and family activities with a big group setting helps me to want to keep that spark, help me get back to how I used to feel.
That's interesting. Okay, everybody has that trigger. Everybody has that thing that they reach to or they reach for to help them get back centered. So you saying the family aspect. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Corey had to bounce. Corey had to get on his job. So okay, so to piggyback off of what you just said, the same with me. If I feel there's a disconnect, like cancer. I don't know who said it, but communication. That's the easiest way to reconnect with your spouse or with your whatever your loved one is to communicate because I feel like the more you don't communicate, the more you just separate yourself, just you know what I'm saying, individually, then you leave room for a chance for you guys to grow apart or just be used to not doing things together or not being together or not spending time together. So my biggest thing with your mom is no serious. It's communication. We sit and check in and just check in with each other and just see how we doing. Not on a how was your day at work, but just we just sit and talk. And the talking is the reconnection. Like you said, spending time with family. That's both of your guys' motivation factors. So that brings you guys back together. That's your thing. That's not my thing. But I understood what you meant as far as how you reconnect. And so with me and your mom, communication is how we reconnect to make sure we're still on the same page with, where we see things or how we feeling or if we both agree that the relationship is kind of going this way or that way. And so I pose that question to you, Ken. When you do understand and see a shift or see some separation in the synergy, what do you do to course correct? How do you step in there and turn the tide and bring that ship away from the iceberg?
Wow. Few things, bro. Um, I definitely do some. I take some similar measures as what nephew has taken. I will draw myself back to what connected me. Why am I here? You know, so whether that's going back to um happier days, looking at photos, um, you know, um, just in your mind, kind of going back to scenarios where things were fun, where things were light, right? Whether that's specific moments, stupid little things. So I use all of that to kind of reset because you definitely want to reinforce the reason why you committed in the first place. So I'm with that. But then from there, bro, I'm a talker. Listen. I will try to talk about some stuff until you blue in the face. And I think what I've noticed is that people are scared of conversation, bro, because they feel that eventually if we talk enough, you gonna have to be accountable to something.
Yep. Yep.
And um, that's what happens. People shut down, people deflect, whatever it is. And then sometimes people start avoiding just conversation in general, especially when that conversation, turns, everything's cool until it's your turn to be under the microscope. So And then if you're not a person who initiates the conversation, oh, that could be treacherous. Because now you feel like every time somebody says something, every conversation, it's gonna be something about what I'm not doing or what I could be doing differently. So, um, you know, I'm the type of person that I don't care. I'm still gonna try to talk, bro. I just gotta reinforce it, because if you don't talk and you just acting, it's only so long you're gonna be able to be in that Tyler Perry movie.
No, I get it. It's always like I forget who said it. I don't know if it was Corey or his cousin. Somebody got to be the bigger party in every situation. Because if you got two stubborn people, that relationship is dead. It's over. Somebody gonna do something stupid. They either gonna quit the relationship or step out.
That's like what I be having to deal with, because I'm not gonna lie, I am the stubborn one, you know that. But
I was gonna say,
yeah,
I already know. Oh yeah.
Like, so I be having to be like, man, like, what I'm mad over ain't even nothing that serious, or I've constructed something in my brain that doesn't even exist, and I'm mad about it. You know what I'm saying? Taking it out on, my girl, even though she had nothing to do with it. So, and sometimes I gotta look at myself like, dude, I gotta come like first and be like, well, my bad, I didn't, mean to come across that way. I should not came across that way. But yeah, that's something I'm working on like currently,
every day.
Yeah.
That's you gonna battle with that your whole life, because we all are wired a certain way. And so when you find that person that breaks your walls down, pause, that makes you become vulnerable, because anytime you're in a relationship, that person is to make you stronger, and you're to make them stronger in whatever area. So your weakness, right?
Yeah.
You're the type that would be stubborn and shut down. She's the type of person that's not gonna let you shut down. She's gonna stay in your face, make you talk. Okay, so she's making you grow. She's making you develop into, a better person, and vice versa. Whatever her weaknesses are, you balance her and you force her to grow and step out of her comfort zone and be more courageous, or whatever the dynamic is over there. Same thing over here, me and your mom. Whatever she lacks, I'm the one that brings it and helps her to grow or forces her to grow. And I'm the same way with you. I'll shut down quick. I got abandonment issues, so I got to beat you to the punch, right? Oh, you want to leave? Bet. No. I'll leave first, right? That's abandonment issues, right? I'm gonna leave you first. You're not gonna hurt me again, like I've been hurt. I'm gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna let you hurt me again. That's abandonment issues. I know I have that, so I understand what you're saying. But your mom makes me stand in the paint and be vulnerable. Like, she ain't going nowhere. Like, nigga, you ain't going nowhere. What you mean you gonna leave? You ain't going nowhere. So it's like, okay, now I can't force her off me. She ain't going nowhere. So now I got to be a man and communicate. So yeah,
that's a role reversal for over here.
Well, whatever it is, it's still a yin and a yang, regardless of whoever playing what role. That's just what relationships are. We relate.